But at the same time, um, to move away from opinion itself, because if we're all engaged in CNN and Fox and this, that, and the other, then we're not living our lives. We're not, what's happening? Am I going to be destroyed by this party or that party? No, you have to trust that the government's just going to go around governmenting. And if it screws up, then you step in. If the pipe of government bursts around you, then you go to the government. Otherwise, don't worry about it. What the federal government does barely affects you. The only thing that affects, the last thing the federal government did that affected me was an election and the firearms ban. And I can't really think about anything else that they've done that has affected me
You
directly.
mean by interest, though, right? Like, I mean, the way your tax money is spent is a very much a big, or like the CBC, public broadcasting, things
yeah.
very much affecting your life in latent ways.
Well, there is always the latent effects. So, people are rightly worried about the status of democracy and free speech and freedom within the system. But this goes down to a fear that people are actively, some people are actively working against these things. I've met them; they were in my class. I've had them as professors. But
so how much should people be involved then? Like, knowing that there's some people that should be into politics and some people that are too much into it. I mean, if the media is just scandalizing every
right,
they're making us think that pipes are constantly bursting when they're not. How do we differentiate a burst pipe from a tap that's running?
Are you gonna lose your house? That pipe's bursting. Is there a gas leak in your neighborhood? That pipe's bursting.
Is a trade war a pipe bursting though? Like, how do you
depends?
It could be over in a week. It could be
no, but it depends. It's very circumstantial, and you need to be aware of what's happening, but you can't be, you're not in the House of Commons.
I think you nailed it right there. You need to be aware of it.
So you need to be aware enough to be like, okay, there's a new aluminum tariff with I don't know, name a country, France, and France is buying a lot of our aluminum, or Italy famously buys a lot of our wheat, which they use to make their pasta. Imagine if Italy is all of a sudden like, no, we need to help Italian farmers, which is their prerogative, and so we're gonna put restrictions on the importation of Canadian grain. Now, I don't need to worry about that. It very indirectly affects me, because if farmers are hurt, then there's a ripple through the economy. But I don't need to be completely involved in it either, but if I'm a wheat farmer, then that definitely affects me. That affects me a lot, and I do need to get involved. And one of the things I noticed is that was when I went, my wife went camping for a couple of weeks. And we didn't have access to internet. We didn't have access to phones. We didn't have access to anything. We came back and everyone was just spouting this nonsense, and it felt so vulgar in a way. We were so relaxed from having the headphones off. We're like, okay, we'll peek at it a bit, and if something interests us or something seems like it's important to us, then we'll do it.